Lisa Booth is a senior fellow at Independent Women's Voice, and she's been on the story. She joins us tonight with more. Hey, Lisa.
Hi, Tucker. And you were just talking about the resistance, and one of the main leaders of that in the Democrat Party is Elijah Cummings, who's the chairman of the Oversight Committee. This is a guy who has broad jurisdiction, broad oversight over essentially every aspect of the government. And what's happened is there's been a complaint filed against his wife, Maya Rockeymoore Cummings. And the complaint has been filed by the National Policy and Legal Center. And essentially, it has two key chief complaints. The first complaint is essentially drawing the fact that she has a charity called the Global Policy Solutions. And essentially what's happening is businesses that have interest before the Oversight Committee are giving money to this charity. So that's the first complaint. And I want to pull up a quote from Tom Anderson, who's the chief investigator of this group I mentioned, if we can pull that up right there. So what he highlights is the fact there's millions of dollars coming from these entities, these corporations with special interest before Elijah Cummings. And anytime you have that, it opens the door for massive corruption. So that's the chief concern. That's number one. The second concern is self-dealing. So basically, she's got this charity group, and then she also simultaneously has an LLC. And what she's doing is from that money that she's getting from the charity, she's paying herself a management fee to the LLC. So this is raising big questions with this group I mentioned, raising flags, which is why they've brought it to the attention of the IRS.
So she somehow is a for-profit attached to the nonprofit from which she's profiting.
Exactly. And even more than that is the fact that a lot of these groups and these companies that are giving money to her charity also have interest before her husband's committee. So this is what this group has flagged to try to draw attention to.
It just seems so corrupt. I mean, has Congressman Cummings responded in any way?
So he has. And what he's essentially alleging is, look, this is a political hit job from right-wing groups. His wife has also said, hey, look, I've hired attorneys and professionals to make sure I'm doing everything by the book. So, we'll see what happens with this. But it's also interesting because Elijah Cummings, at least according to the Washington Examiner, in his 2017 financial report, he mentioned the income his wife got from her LLC, but he did not mention the income that she got from the nonprofit. And the problem is that these two entities are so commingled. That's where this is raising the red flag via this group with the IRS. That's why they filed the complaint to the IRS, is because she's getting this 5% management fee. In 2 years alone, she made $250,000 off of that management fee.
Unbelievable. And we're told Elijah Cummings is an important moral voice. Could be time to reassess.
Allegedly. Lisa, at least we need to learn more about this for sure.
We do. Thank you for that report.
Thank you, Tucker.